Let me tell you my recent interaction with...
Oh my God.
He's got a wife, right?
Yes, he does. He has a kid and a second one on the way. Did you see the video of him at my front door in the camera?
No.
But you know that's what this was about, right? He
Nursing
failed out a
school.
nursing program. Yes. Hits me up one day and he's like, Mike, can I come over? And I'm like, okay, sure. So this is him. He comes over and he's like, he's fucking wasted. And I'm like, you okay? He's like, yeah. Oh man, I skipped going into work. I was supposed to go in at whatever time, but instead I went to the strip club and I've just been drinking all day and having sex with strippers. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, and I don't want my wife to find out.
It's because he was celebrating a raise he got.
He was celebrating a raise he got, so he for sure spent all of that raise for like his entire year on strippers and that. Kayla's in the back room because she doesn't want to deal with him. And I'm just sitting out here. I'm like, man, I want to not talk to you right now. And so I was just like, okay, Kayla.
6:30.
Yeah. This is
Just
after.
noticed the timestamp. Oh my
He
God.
came over at like
Dude, and
4:30,
this is,
dude.
yeah, like hours later, right?
Yeah.
Look
And
how
so,
fucked up he is.
dude, it's so like, this
Yo,
is,
bro, call me, bro. Let me in. Come on.
when he comes over,
When he turned back, who's he looking at the street and
Oh,
went
the
like,
cops. He thinks the cops are
Yeah.
following him and gonna
Yeah.
arrest him.
and I told Kayla, like, I'm like, at 6:30, I need you to come out and just like with your purse and shoes on and be like, hey, we got to go. We got dinner plans. And, I told him several times, I'm like, we got to leave at 6:30. And then Kayla did her thing. So he leaves and then we leave. We go just to a Chinese place and get some carry out. We waited like the 15 minutes. We didn't even want to get food. We just were like, just in case he like comes back for whatever reason. So we'll actually have some food so it doesn't look like we just straight up lied. So when we drive back, he's standing on the fucking bench there, staring at the camera. He's like, bro, dude, let me in real quick, the cops. And I'm like, oh my God. Kayla runs back to the back room. And he's just like, dude, I was leaving and then like the cops are following me in your subdivision. So I just came back. And
So
I'm
I
just
came
like,
to your house. I brought the cops to your house,
back
Mike.
to your house. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's just like fucking annoying and pissing me off. And I'm just like, okay, well, when are you going to leave? He wanted to stay until 7:30 so he could change back into his scrubs and say he worked all day and come back reeking of liquor and hooker spit. I'm finally like, dude, you got to go. I got to do stuff with Kayla and we got to eat and whatever. And he's like, okay, I can't stay for a little bit longer. I'm like, no, just go. He leaves and he comes back another time. Man, the cops. And I'm just like, dude, if the cops were actually following you, you would be arrested right now. They weren't following you fucking idiot.
But he came back. Was the third time he came back? He left his wallet and phone.
Left his wallet and phone here, and that's
on
why
the
he came
steps
back.
there. Yeah.
And this was before he had his first child. He's like, this is like when he found out that she was pregnant. Now, let me tell you what's happened since then. He's like a nursing tech.
Oh, he still never passed his test?
He's
You
like
remember-
an orderly type.
You remember how he failed his nursing program, right?
Vaguely, I remember.
Let me, real quickly. Last time we went to Forest, there was another guy named Justin. Justin was in the nursing program as well and had classes with And before Forest, it's like, I can't go to Forest. I failed my nursing exam because when I was driving to the final exam, a cop pulled me over and I was already late. And I was like, I've got an exam to go to and it's already late. So the cop was like, well, I'm gonna search everything. And so he's like, so I showed up 2 hours late to a 3-hour exam and I failed. And so now I failed the class. And then I've never cried so hard in my mom's arms. And, at Forest, Justin's telling me, he's like, wait, I mentioned that to him. He's like, oh, it's in my class. And I'm like, oh yeah, it sucks how he got pulled over and failed the exam because he was 2 hours late to a 3-hour exam. And like I mentioned those specific details and Justin's like, what? And I say it again, and he's like, did he say that happened to him? And I was like, yeah, why are you confused? He's like, because that is what happened to me. I told him that's why I failed our midterm, but I still turned around and I passed the class. Do you know why? Because I went to, before the final exam in some classes, they'll have like a powwow and they'll go through, here's everything that's going to be on the exam. Everything that the teacher said you need to know is this. And then that's 2 days before the exam. You have 2 days to learn all of it if you don't know it. And so it's easy to learn the exam if you can memorize that shit. He came to that high on like 3 hits of acid. And I know that because during the review, he mentioned it several times. Then he asked me for my notes, as I gave them to him, but he still failed. So why would you lie to me?
Who in their wait, hold on 1 second. Who in their right mind would go to a study group high on tripping on acid?
Just he's stupid.
He's
though.
stupid.
Or
But
he
that
was
would
living,
be so hard.
You
That
know
would be
what? He was living at home still at the time.
Oh, yeah. So he couldn't take acid at home.
I think like he took the acid before, like went home and like was gonna stay home, and then like his mom probably yelled at him like, "Don't you have class?" or some shit like that. Like
Yeah,
I
and
think
then
that
probably,
probably went
yeah.
down like that, and he
Either
had
way.
to
Oh my
leave,
God.
and
So
he's
he
a
stole his-
dumbass and didn't like go somewhere else, and he was
Right.
like, "Well, my mommy told me I have to go to school."
But more importantly, why do you think I give a
Yeah.
fuck about what you're doing in school, where you had to come and tell me, explain to me why you failed nursing? I would have never known.
Yeah,
It's not
he
like I'm
just
tracking
brought it
your
up out of
academic
nowhere.
history, and he's just like brought it out
Yeah.
of nowhere, and I'm like, okay, well,
And
that
he
sucks,
used,
man.
He used your friend's story.
Yeah.
And then when I mentioned it to Justin, I'm like, that's weird. And then like Justin would have no reason to lie to me about that. And I'm just like, that's strange. He's like, hey, he's a strange guy. I'm like, okay. Back to the present. Recently posted some fucking misinformation, well, shared some misinformation. And I'm like, hey, I've been real patient trying to explain why it's important that you don't just blindly share this stuff, and you try and kind of understand where this is coming from, why this might be misinformation. And you do represent the nursing community and the medical community because of where you work. People are going to look at you and be like, well, is a nurse type. He wears scrubs. He works at a hospital, so he probably knows stuff. And people might mistakenly believe what nonsense that you post to be true because of where you work. And then I added, I don't mean to be confrontational about this, but if you continue to post stuff like this, I'm just going to block you. He's like, here, let me make it easy for you. And then he blocks me. I was so thrilled. And she was even happier because now we won't have to play nice with him anymore.
Oh man, so glad. I hate him.
Wow.
And it's really
Right.
great, like when people prove you right. He was friends with everybody, I guess, and like everybody like was annoyed by him. But I'm probably the one person who like outwardly hated him.
Yeah. I sent him a text message after this. I said, hey, man, and I sent him a video of this. I said, hey, man, I just want to say that I was really hoping you would double down on your misinformation. I had several conversations with you and taken the time to explain exactly what detail you had wrong and why, and I've been very patient with you about it, but it's just too much for me anymore. So you reacted exactly the way I had hoped you would, because I was tired of explaining politely what you had wrong. And you even recognize that you are not a very smart person, frequently failing out of college classes. I don't even know if you ever became a registered nurse, but I hope that you failed again, because I'm worried that people will listen to a nurse and nobody should ever listen to you. I'm thrilled that you want to end our friendship. I've wanted to end it for several years, and it's definitely for the best. I'm happy that your life has been a struggle, that you were overwhelmed in debt, because it's all consequence of your own ignorant and selfish lifestyle. And then I sent him the video of this. And I'm like, this video is hidden, so only you and me can see it. But I want you to remember this day when you are struggling to pay your bills and you're unhappy with a woman that despises you. Remember that this is who you are. Remember that you are a stupid fuck up and you bring this all on yourself.
Oh my god, wait, okay, just sidebar real quick.
Whoa.
His wife generally does hate him. He sent us a recording of him and his wife arguing. Horrific. Like
In the middle of the
just-
night. And
she's like screaming at the top of her lungs like,
she has the
leave, just go, like
screaming
like
something
that.
in Bosnian. He's sending that to me, trying to weave the story that he's the victim here.
Like calling him stupid. You're so stupid.
And meanwhile, since he's recording, all of his responses are, can you calm down, please? Can you calm down? And you know for sure that when he's not recording, he's like, shut the fuck up, you
Like
stupid
that's
bitch.
not the
you
way
know?
he talks to her. Yeah.
He was asking me what to do. I'm like, talk to a lawyer? I don't know. This girl was from Bosnia that came over here to get a green card for him. And, you know, like, if you want to get divorced, you're going to lose everything.
You
once you
know
had a
that
couple
story,
kids.
right? His mommy made him marry someone.
Mm-hmm.
Because he got to do
Did he
DUI.
respond to
Yeah.
that?
Yes, he did. I'd love to read that. And it's great. I love it. Mike, you nasty, sloppy, disgusting fat fuck. You think you can put me down by petty insults, huh? You live in a shithole. When was the last time you cleaned that rat's nest? You get off by kicking people when they're down and don't agree with your point of view. You have done nothing but bring pain and suffering in my life. I've been a nurse a little over a year.
This statement is a lie.
And took a contract at St. John Macomb doing agency ER nursing, making it $75 an hour. If he took that job for $75 an hour and he's a registered nurse, he's getting fucked. He should be getting way, way, way more, like over $100 an hour because of the circumstances. All the struggles I went through has made me a stronger person. We are expecting our second son in March. Unlike you, my family is healthy and I don't need a CPAP at night to sleep because you are a disgusting fat body. You sit behind a computer and troll other people to make yourself feel better just because you don't agree with their opinion. You are a loser and your bloodline will die out and my sons will piss on your grave. You think that you have the answer to everything? I'm not going to watch your videos nor humor you in any way. This is my last text to you. I'm blocking your number as well. I'm sure you'll figure out a way to reply with another petty insult. Know that I will not answer back. Have fun making fun of me in your childish videos, and I hope the few likes you get are worth it. I'll see you in the ER when your health fails from being a fat piece of unhealthy shit. when I got this message, I was so happy. When you can tell you completely destroyed someone
Oh yeah.
because revered.
Well, no, I know. That's why I'm surprised when his response to you was, "Fine, I'll block you."
Yeah.
Because I thought he was like your little puppy.
Well, I mean,
Like-
he would do anything I said. And that's why when he was doing all this misinformation stuff and I spent time to explain it to him, I sort of leveraged that to try and get him to see the side of reason. I thought it was working, but it's just everyone else in his life is probably telling him the same nonsense lies. And yeah, that's a side break for you.
That was a fucking hell of a turn there.
And let's remember that he got hair plugs. He got hair plugs and his hair still looks like shit. I mean, I'm just... Anyway, we were talking about Disney and Hollywood's woke culture bullshit. And